But then fast forward, it's crazy to see the growth in people that stick with stuff, because you could take someone, honestly, your life could have went one of two ways. I was like, this dude's a freaking winner. And I remember when I first talked to you, and I had your sales call years prior, and I was like, this dude's not a winner. Like, I actually was like, kind of like, can I get off the phone yet? Like this, like I'm fucked. Like this is a bad call. This is a bad one. This should have been to Simon. This should be a Simon lead. Give it Simon, right? Like no lie. And I was like I got off the call with you initially, like, meh, like that's gonna be great. But then fast forward, it's crazy to see the growth in people that stick with stuff, because you could take someone, honestly, your life could have went one of two ways. Okay, it could have, which is what fires me up, because it's like you could have went this road of you were in Michigan making minimum wage or whatever, nothing, working at the parts counter, college degree. You could have done that job like so many people do that job. There's so many of yous that work the parts counter, punch the freaking clock, do 20, 30, live in a trailer park that I own, and next thing you know, life's over, or they get, they die of a who knows what, coronavirus. And so to me, I'm like, we put money on this pedestal that's like so high. Of course, we all want to generate income and revenue and whatever, but like so many of us are so petrified by so many things that are like so trivial. And I look at all these situations like two things. Number one, I had to be willing to move to you to say, all right, let's take a risk on this guy. In both situations, by the way. The first risk was on that phone call. You took your break, your 15-minute break. I got on the call with you because I was the only guy doing calls. And I actually had to bend on my end to you because you couldn't afford even the lowest payment plan. I had to make a custom plan I had never made before for you. And even at that point, I was like, oh, fuck, like, I don't know, man. Like, he wants it, but you kept coming. Like, you wanted out of the situation. And that's a big, for me, like, that's a big one, because if someone doesn't want it more than I want it for them, or what have you, like, you can feel it. Even if I'm like, I don't know about this dude, but like, he wants it bad enough. He's not trying to run from it. He's trying to come to it. So if I don't come to him, then no deal will ever be made. And I think a lot of us need to learn from that, because there's business owners that we talk to that are scared. They are not as bold. They are not willing to come is whatever your price point is. They might be willing to come to here. My advice for everyone listening is like, listen, you never know when you're talking to an Ipe. You just don't know. You don't know when you're talking to a Shiv, right? You just don't know who you're talking to. And this has probably been like one of the larger learning experiences for me of like people. You got to look at people as this resource, and every one of them is just like a little bit more refined or unrefined, like a gold mine. Every one of them's gold. Every freaking one of them. Can you mine the gold out of them? That's really what it comes to. Like, I don't care if you are the dumbest motherfucker on the planet, excuse my language, like me. Like, I did horrible in school. But then once I hit my stride, then I shined. And so, like, for all of us, for every one of you guys who really are the leaders of this group going forward, like, I'll do what I can to like make sure this thing stays on the right path. But like, for all you guys, like everyone that's been on the stream that will lead this group and take everyone to the promised land, like, remember this: every freaking person is like this unrefined resource, and you just got to find the gold. And if you're willing to freaking mine enough, you'll find it. Every person has something that's worth everything. And like for you, like it's funny because I remember when we did these live streams, I said this last time, and there were phone calls. And I remember putting it on mute and be like, this motherfucker, like I would mock you like a motherfucker. I'm like, shut the fuck, like one more time, Ipe, how do you do a cold call? Like, fuck off, bro. Like, this is what I would say because I was like, he shows up every week, but now I've grown. Like I was a punk then, right? Hopefully I'm like a kind of punk now, but like you start to, again, it's just like age, maybe whatever, but like you start to see and like, you're like, dude, no. Everyone just takes a little bit longer to shine. And given the right path, then a lot in the right, resources around you, anyone can shine. And that's probably the biggest thing I've taken from like our relationship of watching you grow from this parts counter dude who I wanted to like, oh, kill me now, to like literally one of the probably the people, like more than anyone I know, the person I'll be like, hey, Ipe, how the heck do you rank for this? Like, I don't have and you're like, oh, well, let me tell you. It's like, and you're like, this motherfucker's smarter than me now. And so I think that's good for people to hear because it's so easy to look at, you guys and like, oh, they've been doing this for 6 years or whatever, right? And go, I can never get there. But it's like this slow progression has been so rewarding for me to watch like you guys grow. And the fact that you guys have way surpassed me as far as like knowledge of the space of SEO. And so, which is also what's kind of cool too, because like I talked about earlier about this whole like idea of like leveling up, right? And I have like learned some new stuff from leveling up myself and pressing myself that has helped me gain like exponentially more income, which is cool from a competition or whatever standpoint. But like even from a leveling up on an SEO standpoint, like you said, you're like, hey, I learned a certain amount in this group. And then I was like, oh, I don't need to go to the events or whatever. And like, to me, I'm like, that's my fault for not putting more people like you guys in the seats of the leadership roles, because you guys, that's what you guys are. You guys started here. You are here now. You deserve to be leading because you're on the cutting edge of shit. You guys are making money like, I mean, shit, how old are you?
31.
Yeah. Like at 31, I would have dreamt of making the money I know you're making now, right? And I was doing well then. So like your trajectory, Shiv's trajectory, like, like it's insane for people that stick with something and focus on it and surround yourself with people. Like that's the one thing that you guys have done that people really, I don't care if they're 70 years old, you have to look at everything in this group and go, no matter age wise, race wise, sex wise, whatever, you got to look at everyone in this group and go like, these dudes did it in a very short amount of time. You think about like Kobe Bryant and you're like, this dude worked in the gym from this age to this age every day tirelessly. And then you look at like someone like Ipe and you're like, what was it? 2014?
2014.
So 6 years. And like, I don't know, I feel like I paid you like almost 200 grand last month for leads.
Yeah.
For the month.
Yeah.
Through only SEO. You don't do paid traffic. So it's only the shit that I taught you.